Remy's origin story is a little different than Riley's. Like, since Riley has had this allergy for a while, food allergies were definitely now on my radar, where they weren't before with Riley. So, when Remy was a baby, we were living in Nashville at the time, and um, there was, we were introducing him to kind of solidish foods. And I had given him those little like yogurt puffs, the strawberry version on this one particular morning. And fairly certain that's all he had. Although hindsight now tells me that he maybe have has some kind of cross contamination. But anyway, so he had had one of these like little strawberry yogurt puffs, and or multiple of them really, and then like his face swelled up, turned red, like all of this was red. And I remember Shane and I looked at each other, and it was like if you go like cartoon bug eye, like, well, I'm going to be going to the emergency room. Can you get the big kids off to school today? So that's what happened. I took Remy right over to the emergency room because it was a food allergy, and I wasn't sure, like anaphylactic shock can come on very fast. So I wasn't sure if I had enough time to make it downtown to Vanderbilt Children's Hospital, which is where I would have preferred to go. Um, I went to the closest ER. So it was not a pediatric ER, but they were able to handle us anyway. So, and I figured if it was really anaphylactic reaction, that emergency room could, get in touch with Vanderbilt, and we could be whatever transported over if we needed to be. So closest, because I was really concerned about my little 7-month-old baby. So we went to the emergency room, Remington and I, and they checked him out, hooked him up onto all the vitals, all machines and everything to get his vitals, to make sure everything was okay, breathing fine. Gave him some prednisone, and we monitored him for a little bit, not terribly long, but I felt comfortable when we were discharged and just told to stay away from strawberries. So that's what I was thinking. This is strawberries. Remy's had milk formula. He's had, other milk related products. So I was really pretty confident it wasn't a dairy allergy. And since this was the newest food this week, I just assumed it was strawberries. So it seems easy enough to stay away from strawberries. And from my research, I can tell you any food can be a food allergy, or can cause a reaction, and there's no such thing as a minor food allergy, right? So even though it may not be in the top 9, like the eggs, shellfish, milk, peanuts, tree nuts, those, even though it's not in the top 9, it doesn't mean that it is less dangerous. There's no such thing as a harmless food allergy. Okay, you may have a simple reaction this time, but the next time it could be much worse. So always kind of think about that too. So when somebody's talking to you, it would be nice not to downplay their allergen, because they're all dangerous, they're all scary. So Remy, rather, we were like, okay, he's allergic to strawberries. Not a big deal. We just won't have strawberries. I like them, but I could live without them. So so that's what we did. And then a little bit later, like I remember we were at my cousin's house, and it was her birthday. So we were having birthday cake, all the normal stuff for like a party. And it was a regular Publix cake. Earlier that day, Remy had eaten M&Ms, chocolate M&Ms, which if you've ever looked at the ingredients list for chocolate M&M, they have a lot of allergens in them. There's dairy, and there's like soy and some other stuff. Like they're kind of crazy. So so he had eaten those, and just regular ones, no peanuts, and then had scooped the cake, licked the icing, and perhaps even had part of the like actual cake. But anyway, so he got sick and definitely was having like a reaction, and I thought, it's something else. There's no strawberries in this. It's something different. And at first I thought soy because I really wasn't thinking egg. I don't know why. Um, but I was thinking it's probably like soy. But Remy and Riley eat Oreos like you would not believe. Like, I mean, the Publix people laugh at me when I go there and buy them because I buy like 6 packages at a time because that's the like junk food cookie dessert treat that they can eat. Well, Oreos don't have egg, but they do have soy. So I was pretty confident it wasn't soy. And I was thinking, okay, maybe it's egg, but could be a bunch of different things. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff in M&Ms, and I mean, we were eating Filipino food, so maybe there was something that Sammy was cooking with that day. I don't know. It was a weird day, so I was like, not really sure. Well, then I had him tested, and when they did the food allergens on his back and the skin test, and it just got huge. I mean, the egg one was probably like this big, like a quarter, okay, like a US quarter sitting on his back. And I didn't even have to know which one that was to know that that was the problem. And when the nurse came back in, I said, "Is that eggs?" And she said yes. And I was like, okay. All right. I mean, at least we know how to deal with this one. And we're already pretty much egg free anyway because of Riley. So, like, whatever. So, Remy has an EpiPen too. And that's Remy's origin story. Easier than Riley's, took much less time to find out and diagnose. But so anyway, yeah, that's Remy's.